make man. We're going to come together. We're going to unite. And we're going to make man. Do you know when there are three individuals that are putting something together, the chances of it going wrong are very slim. So we're going to make this thing right. We're going to make this man perfect. We're going to make him in our image and in our likeness. We're going to do it together. Watch this. To be made means to be constructed. It means to shape or to form. It means to prepare from various ingredients that makes the individual a sure success. God told me to tell you this morning that he created you, he made you to be a sure success. Somebody say, I'm a sure success. I'm a sure success. Why do you say that, prophetess? What makes man a sure success? I'm glad you asked. Let's look further. He says here, as we go up into verse 27, he said, God created man in his own image, and in the image and the likeness of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. And then he says, and God blessed them. He blessed them. Watch this. He blessed them. To be blessed means to make or to declare one holy. When God blesses you, he makes you holy. He sets you apart from other folk. Are you hearing me? He says to declare holy by a spoken word. It is a formula or a sign. It means to ask divine favor for, to make one happy and prosperous. Do you know that not only does God want to make us happy, but he wants to make us happy and prosperous? And if you are a sure success, anything that you create is going to be prosperous. Oh, y'all ain't helping me up in here. It's going to make you prosperous because he has sure success in you. Watch this. He says, I'm to be blessed, and God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful. Be fruitful. He said to bring much fruit, to be producing, to be productive, producing results, to be profitable. How is it that you can say that you're productive if there are no results? Come on, what you doing with what you got? What profit are you making? He let them know that I want you to be productive. I already created you, planned, purpose for you to be a successor. And sometimes we ask ourselves the questions, Lord, why isn't it that I am not as successful as you planned for me to be? And the reason being is because we start messing with his plan. Ooh, I start messing with his plan. Are you hearing me? He says, be fruitful and multiply. To multiply means to increase. I'm going to add to what you already have. I want you to multiply in number. I'm not going to allow you to just be here and by yourself, you and your wife, but I'm going to allow you to multiply, to increase. He says, and to fill the earth and to subdue it. Subdue it means to put something under your feet or to cause something to be subject. And in other words, God has given you that authority. Are you hearing me? He says to be subject, to bring to land under cultivation. And when you cultivate something, you're going to stir up the things that are down in the bottom. Are you hearing me? Come on, you begin to break up fallow ground when you cultivate. And when you cultivate, even in your children, when you cultivate their lifestyle, you cultivate them because you want them to grow. And so with all of these things, God says, and he goes on, he lets them know, I want you to also have dominion. I want you to rule. I want you to have authority. Are you hearing me? If that ain't success, I don't know what is. For God to give man all of that, he's showing him that I want him to be successful. Are you hearing me? Let's go further. Let's go to Jeremiah, 18th chapter of Jeremiah. Say, you made me. You made me. Now mold me. 18th chapter of Jeremiah. Watch this. Now, get there, and I just want you to mark down and show you something here. The reason why God showed me that man needs to be made over again is because in the days of Adam and Eve, God gave them dominion. He gave them everything that they needed right there on that earth. Right there in the Garden of Eden, he gave them everything that they needed. But they wanted more. Adam only knew good and he only knew God. We learned that on last week, right? He only knew good and he only knew God. And when you only know good, it's easy for you to be good because that's all you know. But it's a challenge for you to be evil. Come on, you're challenging my ability when you tell me to do something that's evil. I know how to be good. Kirk Franklin sings a song and he talks about when he was 4 years old, how he was no longer with his mother and his grandmother took care of him. And he said all of his friends began to tease him and call him a punk. And he said, Lord, for him to prove that he wasn't a punk, he got all the women that he could possibly get. He knew how to be a good boy, but when they challenged him to become evil, he showed them he could be evil. He wanted more than what God had offered him. Man messes with God's plan. And the way that Adam and Eve did this is first they were disobedient. Disobedience moves us into sin. And sin gives birth to death. Are you hearing me? So when you say, God, I know that you made me, but I need you to make me over, it's because you have done something that has messed up God's plan for your life. Because if disobedience is never in your life, there will be no need for it. Are you hearing me? It will not give birth to sin. Glory to God. We're Jeremiah 18 and 4. Watch this. And the vessel that he was making from clay was spoiled in the hand of the potter. And so he made it over. Somebody say reworking it. Reworking it into another vessel as it seems good to the potter to make. The vessel that he was making, come on, the vessel of clay was spoiled in his hand. The vessel, the vessel, the vessel, the vessel. I am a vessel. I am a spiritual container. And there's something that is on the inside of me that should never leak out. That shall never come out. Are you hearing me? But when I go to messing with God's plans, when I go to doing things that are contrary to what he has told me, to the commands that he has set before me, it causes things to open up. Are you hearing me? That's why they knew that they were naked. Are you hearing me? While they were naked, they knew later on that they were naked. Because they went against God's plans. And so I begin to think about something. He says that there are vessels. And a vessel that was making from the clay, it was spoiled. The vessel, the vessel, the vessel. Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to show you something. Spoiled. It means to be damaged. It means to be damaged. It means that it is impaired. It means that it is no longer of value. It is useless. You know why Adam and Eve had to get out of the garden? Because they were useless. When you disobey God, he don't anymore.